So I made a video, apparently July 8th, 2016, when a whole lot of fake news was coming out trying to sway the population about voting against Donald Trump. And from the Huffington Post, I showed you their boardroom full of nothing but females. I don't think there was a single black woman in there at all. Pretty much white women. I think one Asian girl. And I've mentioned it then. These are like a left liberal leaning site, the Huffington Post. You can't trust them, etc. Then, of course, everyone's talking about Snopes. Snopes is coming out trying to debunk stuff. I said, guess who is the all-powerful Snopes people? You're not going to believe this. So here's the video I did. I'm just going to share the link right here. Well, the picture in the background. Realist News. You want to know who actually runs Snopes? Prepared to be shocked. 15,476 views. I'm pretty happy with that. And I go on to show you the husband and wife couple. And to put it mildly, I think two slobs on a couch is what I saw. And when they lean left like they do, biased, they are two slobs on the couch as far as I'm concerned. So just want to say that I did cover this, and it gives me great pleasure right now, because how many people in your life, or in your life, have said to you, oh, well, Snopes said that's not true. Snopes said, blah, 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 and you're trying to show them something. No, Snopes said that's not true. I don't believe it. Let's see what kind of character Mr. Snopes is, what kind of character he has, okay? I've been following this for the last 2-3 days, and I was just waiting. Is there something to come up that says this is fake, it's not really true, etc., etc.? Apparently not. This appears to be true, okay? This is from dailycaller.com. Snopes co-founder, so that's the husband and wife. One of them, I'm assuming they're talking about the husband, because you'll see why in a second. Snopes co-founder accused of embezzling company money and spending it on prostitutes. Now that, my friends, is someone I want to trust with their judgment and telling me what's true and false in my life or out on the internet or news, etc. That's who I want to go to. The founder of myth-busting website Snopes, which was recently tapped by Facebook as one of the 4 fact-checking organizations patrolling the site for fake news, embezzled $98,000 in company funds before spending it on himself and the prostitutes he hired. According, not to fake news, not to alternative news, not to any news, according to legal documents filed by his now ex-wife and have been reviewed by the Daily Mail. That's the dailycaller.com. Okay, so the Daily Mail is a significantly mainstream site for the UK, as far as news goes. Okay, dailymail.co.uk. And I'm going to read you a little bit of that, just so you understand that this is not fake. This is definitely real. Not that I'd have to really prove it to you anyways. You guys obviously trust me. Exclusive. Facebook's fact checker, who will arbitrate on fake news, is accused of defrauding website to pay for prostitutes and its staff, including an escort porn star and vice vixen dom. Now, first, I want to tell you about, or talk about, let's go to the whole Facebook thing. I've mentioned this to you the other day. Got to keep my people up to date, so I know I did this video. I'm positive. And I was talking about, now Facebook, if someone, doesn't matter who they are, if someone on Facebook posts something and it starts to go quote unquote viral or whatever, even if it actually doesn't matter, one of these so-called specialists can go there, click on your little article or whatever you wrote, your post, and say, we fact-checked this. This does not appear to be true. Here's our story. Here's what we found on this. So anybody who goes to your post now sees this little special highlighted link or something that says, hey, wait a minute, this may not be true. Check this out. Here's our fact-checking source or whatever. However, if they post something, you and I don't have the opportunity or right or ability, period, to go and say, wait a minute, what you guys have posted, here's our rebuttal and here's our source. No, my friends. No. You don't get that opportunity. It's only for their quote unquote experts. And again, why I'm saying this is one of their 4 experts is Snopes. This cannot have happened at a more awesome time. The whole fake news stuff. And I'm trying to find out. I was talking to my friend Frank today at work. I said, man, I can't remember if it was Gerald Celente, trends forecaster, or Martin Armstrong with the ECM model. I said, but one of them said we are entering, as 2017 gets here, that they were forecasting essentially the end of like the mainstream news as far as being, trustworthy or anything. They're on their way out, gone. Now, of course, the Webbot had been talking about this for a while, but that's a different story. It was either Gerald Celente or Martin Armstrong in the model, whatever. 2017, this is the year that government trust goes down the tubes and mainstream media goes down the tubes. We're practically there. It's at the end of the year, right? 2016. I find that fascinating. They've pumped out more fake news in the last month and a half than I ever recall seeing in my life, while trying to fight us and calling us fake news, alternative media. And so they pump these stories about fake news, and then they simultaneously are pumping the most fake news one could ever imagine to see in their lifetime. Okay? So anyways, this is epic as far as I'm concerned. Talk about the old saying, when it rains, it pours. Man, I had this happen. Bad luck. Then this freaking happened on the way home. Once I got home, this freaking thing happened. When it rains, it pours. That's what that saying means. And boy, oh boy, for the lamestream media in the club, when it rains, it's pouring right now. Just when we find out Snopes, one of the most trustworthy debunking sites on the web, it's going to be one of the 4 selected by Facebook. It comes out that this guy is an absolute piece of garbage human. Clearly cheating on his wife, now ex-wife. Facebook has announced plans to check for fake news using a series of organizations to assess whether stories are true. One of them is a website called Snopes.com, which claims to be one of the web's essential resources and painstaking, scholarly, and reliable. It was founded by husband and wife Barbara and David Mickelson, who used a letterhead claiming they were a non-existent society to start their research. Now they are divorced, with Barbara claiming in legal documents, again she's suing him, he embezzled $98,000 of the company money and spent it on himself and prostitutes. In a lengthy and bitter legal dispute, he is claiming to be underpaid and demanding industry standards, or at least $360,000 a year. And I can't blame the guy. When you're pushing and shilling for the liberal left, $360,000 a year is a tiny salary. Hey guys, if I'm shilling for you, you need to pay me bigger money, because a lot of people come to my site for so-called factual information. I need to get paid, okay? That's what he's saying. So that's some highlights from the Daily Mail website. Again, mainstream site actually covering that. So after divorcing from his first wife, Barbara Mickelson, David Mickelson married Elissa Young, a former porn star and current escort, who now works for Snopes as a administrator. Oh, I bet she's administrating, according to the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail also revealed that top Snopes fact-checker Kim LaCapria claimed on her personal blog that she has posted to Snopes after smoking marijuana. As the DC previously revealed, LaCapria described herself as openly left-leaning, and once claimed that Republicans fear female agency. Related, fact-checking Snopes. Website's political fact-checker is just a failed liberal blogger. Also related, Snopes, which will be fact-checking for Facebook, employs leftists almost exclusively. But I can raise my hand. I said this as early as July. I probably have mentioned it before because I've known Snopes for quite a while as far as that website is concerned. I never trusted it. It's clear when someone's leaning to the left. You can see it because they can't help themselves. And this female, what's her name? Female Republicans fear a female agency, is quoted as leaning a bit to the left. No, I think you pretty much fell over completely to the left, if I don't mind saying so myself. So here is supposed to be one of the most trustworthy, prestigious, incredible fact checkers of all. Well, Snopes said such and how many times, again, have you heard somebody somewhere say, I checked Snopes on that. I checked Snopes. I just want the Snopes. How would you feel if I gave you some news, right? This is how ridiculous this is. I give you some news that just happened or happening today. Guess what happened? And I fact checked this. Where'd you go, Jay Snip? I went to the local prostitution drug house in the ghetto. There's a lady there that's phenomenal fact checker. You would look at me and say, oh, that's funny. Jay Snip, you're a damn comedian. You should have been a comedian in another life. Seriously, where did you check that out at? A prostitution/drug house in the ghetto. I'm not kidding. And here's a picture of the woman at the prostitution house, drug house. Yeah, I know she looks like she's been on meth for 5 or 6 years. Teeth are destroyed, face is all wrinkly and messed up, and she's only 28 years old. But she has an uncanny ability to weed out anything that the club wants weeded out and lean to the left, right? Would that be absurd? That would be beyond absurd. I would look on my YouTube the next day and people would say, Joe, you've done us a service all this time. We love you. But now you're smoking crack. Maybe at that house you're talking about. It was nice knowing you. I'm going to get my daily news stuff from someone else. Have a nice day, Jay Snip. Appreciate it. Take care. That might be the nicer side of people's comments. The other side would be, Joe, you moron. What the hell are you doing? You're shilling now. I'm out. Okay? That's how the other side would go. And I would honestly accept that because that would be how ridiculous that is. I can't tell you how much this makes me happy. They are the left, the liberals. They are absolutely destroying themselves. They are a self-eating organism. They are eating themselves alive, even when they can't help it and something like this comes out. Boom, lawsuit filed, ex-wife. Can't really debunk that as fake news. You can't say, well, that's just some right-wing person decide to file a lawsuit on us. It's not true. We completely deny these allegations. This is nonsense. You know they would say exactly that. Little problem. It's the ex-partner, ex-wife. Uh-oh. Yeah, and Mr. Mickelson, about your $360,000 a year salary you demand that you think you deserve, they probably would have paid you that and then some, a little bonus money. Not anymore, because you just effed them in the A. You were going to be one of our 4, you moron. Now we can't be trusted for the other 3. Damn it, Mickelson. Mickelson, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart as an alternative media personality myself. You are burying the likes of yourself and the left. You are burying them at epic speed, epic proportions. I love it, and I love you for that. I wish you a lot of luck in your newfound glory with the next porn star / escort, whatever, and the left-leaning #1 contributor to your site that is openly saying I'm a left-leaning person. Wish you guys a lot of luck. I think it's safe to say you are done. Good day, sir. You lose, you get nothing. No $360,000. No more former porn star. She's going to leave you. That's probably guaranteed. Good day.